Welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show, the hit golf edition, the pro shop edition. With no Rick, it's myself, Guy, it's Ben. Rick is travelling and Ben is ill.
It's dire times for the Friday Hit podcast, isn't it?
How do you feel?
Everyone's dropping like flies. I was really excited for this week because Rick was out of town.
Oh, right. You like it when Rick's not here.
Yeah, it's like
the teacher's not here.
Yeah, the head pro's out. It's like, I'm not going to stock the shelves this week. Like, bugger that. And then I'm a bit ill. It's only a bit of man flu though, so we're pushing on. We're good.
Why is it man flu and not women flu? Why are you being misogynistic?
Well, women can get women flu, but I'm a man and I have man flu.
Thanks for clarifying that you're a man. Yeah, Rick isn't here. He is currently in South Africa. And the very point of this Hit Golf podcast was to produce a podcast every single Friday, ideally with Rick sat here. But on the weeks he's travelling and out gallivanting, we can still continue to produce this podcast. The quality might dip a little bit, granted.
Oh, no way.
It's gone from, when Rick's here, let's say it's 36 Stableford points. Solid, good.
Yeah.
When Rick's not here, it's 33. Better than nothing. But
No, 42?
Don't let if Rick listens to this.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Listen to it.
Sorry. 33.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Rick will listen to this. But yeah, we've got a bit of a special show because the roles have reversed. It's normally you quizzing me.
Mm-hmm.
I take you've not got a quiz up your sleeve this week, or have you?
I don't.
No.
Mainly because there's
Lazy.
so many other things to speak
Laziness.
about. No, it's not laziness.
When you first started this podcast, it was like, yeah, Ben's the new guy, brings all this energy and excitement and content to the show. And now you've got your feet under the table, those big size 15s under the table, and you just got a bit lazy.
I'm like, yeah, quizzes, lame.
But I've got your quiz for you.
Oh, great.
So we're doing in a little minute.
Sure.
We've got quite a lot to talk about, which is exciting. We're going to talk through, this is got the nerdy stuff. We're going to talk through the golf bag of Cameron Young, who just literally won the Players last week. Got a quiz for you, as I said. Got some talk on some irons, bits and bobs. Bryson's been spotted with some new clubs in the bag, which is controversial. But first off, I believe you are going to give something away.
Oh, I love giving stuff away.
Mm.
A few weeks ago, we posted a video with yourself, Guy, comparing the new Tacoma 201s to the older original Tacoma 101s. And when we originally reviewed the 201 set with Rick, and he did the whole set, there was a bit of rust on the pitching wedge of one of the sets. And Tacoma saw that. They sent us a new set straight away, untouched, really. I've opened the box to have a look inside, but we're never going to use them. Like, it's not going to make a difference to our testing, etc. So we thought it'd be great to give it away.
Yep.
You know, direct to consumer, it's hard to try irons. They obviously come in a extra stiff shaft. You did say that in the video, so people, listen, you might want them. You can sell them on. You can do whatever. Maybe you're not fit for extra stiff shafts, but you're just going to use them anyway because they were free. Anyway, I have loaded the video into a random comment picker website. 3,013 comments to pick from.
Wow.
I'm going to pick a winner.
Okay.
Shall I show my laptop for proof that we have it here?
So it's not fake.
But there's no, I've not already picked one. So here we go. I'm going to pick a winner. The winner is, well, firstly, he said, I loved your review of the T100 irons. And he's got a profile picture of him playing golf, which is a great sign.
It's a real person.
Interesting setup position, but we won't judge. James Reese Golf. Congratulations, mate.
Well done, James.
I will be in touch with you. If you see a message from myself, Ben, it's not a scam. Congratulations, you've won the irons.
That's the beauty of giving stuff away, that we didn't need those irons, let's be honest. They were going to collect some dust in the storeroom. They're now going to get given to James Reese Golf, who might use them, he might sell them, he might have a hole-in-one with them, who knows. Those irons now will have some sort of life. Rather than being in our storeroom and sulking, they're not getting hit. They're now going to somehow and somewhere hit golf balls.
It's almost like a dog adoption shelter. It's like this dog's kind of come in and you're like, oh, you're not.
What dog would Tacoma be? Would it be like a spaniel?
It's a bit like the Toy Story story last week, wasn't it? What kind of toy would it be? What would Tacoma be?
I think a little I don't know much about dogs, but is a spaniel like an excitable puppy that runs around?
Yeah.
Tyler's a Labrador, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, they've sort of come in and they've been like, as the homeowners, we've been like, oh God, are we going to get a home for this guy? Like, they're not very successful. Well, they probably are successful, but maybe we have too many of them, and we go, how are we going to get rid of this one? But now James Reese Golf, take them away.
Well done, James.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well done. First things I want to touch on this. I want to explain and show how I am what's the word I'm looking for? Not a golf snob, but a golf. I'm trying to think of the right phrase for this. Maybe I can't even think. Like a golf purist. Maybe is the right word. Maybe it's the wrong word. I don't know. However, let me explain. Not over the weekend. Actually, that's a lie. Today's Thursday. We're recording this. It's going out Friday. Maybe yesterday, actually, Wednesday. I saw a YouTube video.
Okay.
That I loved for many reasons. It was, you might have seen this, you might not have done. It's a Nike YouTube video in collaboration with Beats by Dre. So I'm sure you know who Beats are.
Yes.
But people listening may or may not know. Beats by Dre is a headphone audio company founded by Dr. Dre, got sold to Apple. Yep. They make headphones, wireless headphones, you name it. And Nike and Beats are in a collaboration, which is not that unusual because Nike and Apple do lots of collaborations on Apple Watch, etc. Mm-hmm. And it's this advert, how long is it? It's 1 minute 53. You know when I say this, people listening at home or watching, Nike adverts, when they are good, they are good. There's certain iconic Nike adverts. The World Cup airport one, I think it was 1998 with Brazil, I think it was 1998 Brazil. Do you even remember that one or not?
No.
Oh, do you know it, Harry, behind the camera? Please say you do. Oh, God. The Nike airport football advert is iconic. So we'll put that at the end of the podcast. You can listen and watch. That's great. Do you have the cage advert, the Nike football cage with Cantona and stuff?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And then in golf, we've done some great golf podcasts, great golf adverts.
Is that Nike ad with Tiger and Rory? Is that one? And they're like,
that's an amazing one.
Driving it into like teacups and stuff.
Yeah, there's that one in the cups, and there's the one with Tiger and Rory where it starts off where Rory is this young child at Hollywood Golf Club, and then he ends up playing with Tiger.
Yeah.
And actually, this is quite a sad fact. The music to that I had at my wedding. Oh. It's a really nice. Is it nice. Lude? I always forget the guy's name, the pianist, but he's very, very well known. Anyway, long story short, I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, there's an advert, and it's LeBron James, who's I know nothing about basketball, but LeBron James, and after Michael Jordan, is the most famous basketballer to ever have graced the planet Earth. Yeah. Him and Tom Kim, so a young Nike athlete, who's a great golfer, very kind of likable guy. There's an advert, some headphones, and they are called the Powerbeats Pro 2, and it's Beats times Nike, collaboration with Nike. This advert is have you seen it or not? It's really good. It's really funny. LeBron's actually sporting the top I've got on. He pulls it off a little bit better than I do, granted, but that's fine. It's a great advert, and my first thought was, how cool is this? Arguably the coolest, most famous athlete in the world, and LeBron James is playing golf. He's obviously a massive golf fan now. He's playing golf. He's promoting golf to people, making it look cool. Tom Kim is out there. He's, making golf look cool. Brilliant. However, the golf purist in me had a qualm.
Oh,
this is so sad. I'm currently on the Nike website now reading the information around these new headphones. And they're like an in-ear, they're not an AirPod, but they're kind of an in-ear wireless headphone. And one of the main things about them, one of the main talking points that was featured in the advert is, and I'll read this to you now, Nike times Powerbeats Pro 2 deliver premium sound that empowers athletes to tune out the noise, stay focused on their goals, and push beyond their limits. They're very big on the active noise cancelling.
Dangerous.
Correct. As a golfer, this is so sad, I know, and I'm happy that Nike making golf cool and Beats. If you're on the golf course wearing headphones with active noise cancellation, and someone goes, 4! You're playing behind Rick Shiels or Guy Johnnick or Ben Wright. You hear
Definitely
a big
me.
4! With the Powerbeats Pro 2, you may not hear that 4. So, I'm a little bit of an advocate these days for music on the golf course in the right setting. I've done it before with a buggy, you put a little speaker on. It's good vibes. Headphones in, there's some potential drawbacks to that. So that's me being a golf purist, golf nerd, you name it. That was my only little bit. Watching that video, not only was I thinking this is really cool, I was also thinking this could be quite dangerous.
Are they like...
They're like the hooky rounds?
Yeah, are they is it? Oh, but you can separate them though, so you can't go one
You can have one in, that's a good shout.
It's probably not the point of noise cancelling, but I have definitely done that before. Like AirPods, you kind of, when I got into golf, I'll just stick these in like noise cancelling, out by myself. And you do straight away go, oh man, I probably should be able to hear just in case. But yeah, if you can separate them, one ear in.
In reality, how often do you play golf and get shouted? Maybe your old golf goes quite a lot because that was very
tight.
In reality, it might be, I don't know, once every 6 rounds. I've never done the stats in it, but somebody might shout 4. So I'm being a bit silly with this, but it's just, it was more of an elaborate point that I'm really happy when golf gets made to be seen as cooler and draws more people in. there's part of me that's almost a bit like, oh, that's not quite right. It's like when you watch golf movies and it's not quite accurate. And it's like, that's really annoying. And there was the one a few years ago about, was it Maurice Flitwick? I think I mentioned this on the podcast, who was the guy that had to play in the Open and qualify for the Open. He was absolutely horrendous. And there's a movie about it. It was really funny. Let me see if I can find it now. It was...
This is like a new movie coming out, right?
It came out a little while ago, like a couple of years ago. Maurice Flitcroft, sorry, not Flitwick. It came out, when was the movie? About 3 years ago, Phantom of the Open. Yeah, 2022.
Phantom of the Open.
It was a really good movie. And it was all about this guy who was rubbish at golf that decided to try and get into the Open. And it was quite well filmed. However, in like one of the final scenes, it was from about it was meant to be like 1970 something. One of the final scenes of the movie hit a golf shot and he had a glove on. And the glove was a TaylorMade glove with the new TaylorMade logo. I think launched around the year 2002 or something. So straight away, being the golf nerd I am, I put it out to my wife, who came to the cinema with me, and said, "That's not factually correct." Like a proper nerd.
Did you leave a Google review after and just?
I did. Horrible email, yeah. Anyway, speaking of equipment nerds, this is my test to you, Ben, because you've only been playing golf famously for just over 2 years, and as much as it pains me to say this, kudos to you on your ability so far, because I've seen your swing recently, and your swing is looking pretty good.
Thank you.
And also, as it should be with your role as Hit Channel Manager, your equipment knowledge is very strong. Certainly, and obviously, things that have launched this last 12, 18, 24 months, your finger is on the pulse.
Yeah, we're learning as we go. I feel
very much so.
Every day there's something new bit of tech or equipment, and still learning, and even there's so many different avenues of things like drivers and irons, and there's so much what I think is almost like new tech. And when I talk to you guys and you're like, oh, that's sort of come out already in 2006 and they've just kind of brought it back, and you go, oh, geez.
You know what it really is? It's like fashion. It's like now, obviously, we see it a lot here. The studios we have, there's other studios attached to this there where quite cool people come for photo shoots. And the fashion's obviously these baggy clothes, etc., which was very much like it was in the 90s. And then I'm sure at some point, although it's hard to perceive now and believe, but skinny jeans will come back inevitably at some point. So that with golf, I think obviously there's some new technologies, but so much of the things have been around before. However, I've got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 golf products, right? Mm-hmm. That have all played, maybe I won't say played a part in my life, but been around in my lifetime. Some are newer than others, but most of them are quite old. So if you literally get 0 here, that's absolutely fine, because you might well get 0. Okay. I'm going to give you the name of a product, and you have to tell me, and I'll give you the year as well, and you have to tell me what brand made said product. Harry, is your mic on or not?
Yes.
Yes, Harry. If is any questions here where...
Can I phone a friend?
Well, you can phone a friend / if you just say, look, I can't do it, then Harry gets it. Harry gets a point. And whoever gets the most points at the end gets a firm handshake from me.
Okay.
And a well done.
I'm going to blame my man flu if I can't get any of this right.
First one.
Brain fog.
And I'm really going to try and train myself now to not say the brand first. I think I want to say the brand.
Okay.
Okay, but I won't say the brand.
Please say burner. First one. No. Damn it. Slider.
From 2015.
Okay.
PSI irons. Who made the PSI? Harry, raise your hand if you know this one. Or speak to me. Don't say it, but do you know it?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So PSI. What brand would make a set of irons called PSI?
I can visualize them.
Okay.
I have seen them.
Okay.
I think it's TaylorMade.
Oh, yes. Straight in off the bat.
I'm glad I got one.
1 point.
Yes.
Some brands could be repeated here multiple times.
I'm sorry for the people listening who have played golf for 20 years. And they're like, what? They're so famous or whatever. I'm sorry. Listen, when you...
They're not... They're like a... They're not a massively famous iron, but they were a decent iron. But yeah, some of this is in here is famous. But again, you've got one now. Okay. You're safe. You're good.
I can sleep easy.
Okay, this is a big one.
I'm ready.
I own this golf club.
Okay. You own it now?
Well, not anymore.
Okay.
From 2003, it launched.
Oh, no.
How old were you then?
Not old.
What year were you born?
97.
So you were 6?
Yeah, 6.
So how bad your maths is? Anyway, that you couldn't think. You
brain fog. Brain fog.
983K driver.
983?
K driver.
Okay. Sounds very Titleist. I'm going to go Titleist.
Oh, yes. 2 out of 2.
I just feel like Titleist have that 923, that 918. And we have done a 20 years of Titleist video. That driver wasn't in it, but I just went off the theme of, I can't say I knew that one, but I'm going based on...
But that's how you use your logic.
Bit of logic.
This one now is a bit of a...
What do I get if I go 10 for 10 here, by the way?
Well, there's 7, but if you get 7 for 7,
7 for 7.
you will get my respect and the listeners' respect in bucket loads.
That's what I would like. I would love
okay, this one is from... This is a bit of a hard one, and I'll be honest now, I'd imagine a lot of people listening won't know this.
Oh, great. I'm locking in
So
there.
it's fine if you get it wrong.
Okay.
It's fine. 2016.
Okay.
Method Origin Putter.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue. It's a hard one.
Mhm.
There was 2 models made of this putter. Very, very similar. Very, very similar. But slight intricate details to both. And they were both made for a player. So one was for one player, one was for the player.
Method Origin.
Can I have a guess?
You can, Harry. Do you want Harry to have a guess straight in?
Yeah, I'll phone a friend.
Ping.
Would you want to take that guess? If you take the guess, it's right, you get the point. If you take that guess and get it wrong, you're out of here.
Okay. My heart was going... Well, this is just genuinely a guess based on names. I was feeling Mizuno to start with. But I can't do that and let my boy down. He carried me in a pub quiz recently, so I'm going to have to take Harry's guess on this one. Harry, Ping, happy with that? Any second guesses?
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Okay. Ping, sir.
It's not.
Please don't be Mizuno.
It's not.
Okay, thank goodness.
It's Nike.
Method. Nike. Oh, of course.
There was
There was a driver, right?
There was, well, this putter came out, the Method Origin. There was 2 of them made. We've got one in the storeroom, so I thought you might know. It's got a blue head cover, black head cover with the blue on it. They made 2 of them. There was one for Rory's shape, one for Tiger's shape, and they had these grooves on the face. And they launched in 2016, and later that year, Nike kind of exited the club and ball category. So it didn't really have any traction.
Method.
Harry, I thought you might know it because I've played a round of golf with it. When we played a Break 75 at, I believe, Close House, I took it with me. Now, I don't expect your memory to be that great, granted. But I've used it because I've got one at home. Anyway.
Method. I thought there was something called like a driver name similar, but there's not, is there?
No. Right. This is going all right, though, here. Okay.
2 for 3.
The next one.
Take it. Come on.
Was launched around 1992.
Not
but
great. Okay.
There have been re-releases. Not recently, I don't think. I might be wrong in this, but quite well known. Wedges.
Okay. It's a tough one.
So I wouldn't say it's quite as far as... You know, like people call a vacuum cleaner a Hoover?
Okay.
Because it could be any brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's called a Hoover, and Hoover's actually the famous brand. There was a spell, maybe in the year 2000, again, so a while ago, where this name got a little bit bigger than the actual brand, and people called their own wedge this said thing. It'll make sense.
Okay.
Trusty Rusty.
Trusty Rusty.
So Trusty Rusty is a brand. It's from a brand, but around the mid 2000s, it became so. When the Rusty wedges became a real thing, people would call them My Trusty Rusty, but it would be a different brand.
Okay.
But the brand I'm thinking of, their range is Trusty Rusty. Harry, any clues?
So their brand made their wedges were called the Trusty.
Correct. But it got that
Trusty
well known.
Rusties.
But it got that well known at the time when other brands made Rusty wedges.
Yeah,
People might
gotcha.
allude to theirs as a Trusty Rusty because it rolls off the tongue.
I feel like it's something Cleveland would do.
Okay.
Harry,
Harry's shaking his head with assertiveness off camera.
you feel like you've heard this one has?
I've definitely heard Trusty Rusty
Yeah.
Okay.
because of the re-releases.
Okay. Does he have a brand?
Talk to me.
I think he's stumbling though on the brand.
I think it is Callaway.
Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be my second.
That would be my guess.
A clue, I don't know if this is still the case, but quite a nerdy clue.
Okay.
These were very big when I was very young. And it was this brand, and it was another brand who were big wedges, and another brand that were big. So there's 3 big brands. That's all I'm going to say.
In my head, I'm thinking Callaway did Rusty Jaws, but I might be completely wrong.
The other interesting thing with these wedges at the time was, whereas people have like 54, 56, these were like 57 and 59.
Wow.
Which I don't think was anything really other than a bit of a marketing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But people would have a Trusty Rusty and a 57.
Okay. That doesn't feel very like major OEM to do something like that. I'm looking at Has. I can't even see him.
I don't want to see any Googling.
No, of
this.
course
It's gotta
not.
be purely...
Trusty Rusty. I'm sorry, people listening. I'm letting you down.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the people. Trusty. I feel like Has. It's got to be a Cleveland or something like that.
I think it's definitely not Cleveland.
Definitely not. They were like the goats of wedges, weren't they, back in the day? Or has they ever made that up?
No,
On
they
a-
were.
No,
they were.
Yeah, they were.
I'm going to give you... Oh, I don't want to give you this clue.
No,
You'll
no.
get it.
All right, should we just lock something in? I'll go Callaway. Callaway was my second. Go on,
Harry.
Haz.
Could it be ping?
Double ping. Ping.
There could be doubles in there. There could be doubles.
Have we double pinged?
Because Ping did the crazy putter, right?
They
Was that
did.
Ping?
Yeah.
Like, so they are a bit wacky with the names.
They are.
I would be open to a trusty rusty.
It's funny, there's a brand that you've not mentioned once yet. But anyway, are you going to lock that in?
Was that a clue?
I'm going to allow you. What I'm going to do, rather than tell you this one, I'm going to let you, Ben, if you lock in your answer, are you going to lock one in? I think it's time. Come on, 3.
Let's go Ping.
Right, you've gone Ping. Rather than me telling the audience, I'm going to let you Google it. I went to Google,
Okay.
Trusty, Rusty,
Trusty,
Wedge.
rusty.
And let you break the news to Harry.
Okay, here we go. Trusty, rusty, Wedge. We've got some
Is-
slow Wi-Fi. You nit.
Tell Harry who it is. Break the news to him.
It's none that we've mentioned has. And do you know what? Now I see it. I mean,
We've
silly
got them in.
to
I
say.
think we've got them in the studio
Do
as
we?
well in the lockup.
Cobra.
The Cobra, Trusty, Rusty.
I was right with the C, starting with C.
You were very
Damn.
close. And the clue I wanted to give you, but I would have given it away, was, again, back when I started golf, all this comes back to me. When I started golf, there was 3 big brands of wedges. Cobra, Trusty, Rusty. Cleveland, you touched on a lot. And then Vogue, who was starting to really come through.
yeah.
That was the 3 big dogs.
They got the big trusty rusty. What's that? Just a big face or
Sorry,
something?
I don't remember that one. Okay, next up.
Okay.
We've got 3 more to go. We're doing all right here. 2 out of 4.
Okay. Lock in again.
This has been mentioned on the podcast. Now, I'm sure in Harry's era, he'll have heard of this. Maybe it's a tough one. Ready? It's a putter. It's a putter. It's a putter. It's a putter.
Okay, putting.
Doc, D-O-C, Doc 17.
Doc 17. Oh, that
No
sounds familiar.
Googling. No Googling.
That sounds so familiar.
Now,
Doc
what I will
17.
do to give you a bit more info about the putter, the reason it was called Doc 17 is this putter from toe to heel was 17 centimetres long. So you could
Wow.
literally line up about, I think it's about 5 golf balls across the toe to the
Oh,
heel.
I've seen the picture of that.
There was this era where big putters, it was about 2004 it launched. They then made a Doc 15, I believe, and even I think a Doc 13, which went obviously a bit smaller. But the Doc 17 was a big daddy.
I feel like we've spoken about this, and Rick showed me the picture of like all these balls lined up across the face.
There you go. Does this give anything away? There you go. Let me just make sure this...
Are you going to show me a picture of it?
Yeah, but I just want to make sure there's no branding. And
Okay.
annoyingly, it's... Come on, guy, you can do this.
I was thinking Ping has, again.
I don't have a Scooby.
I'm struggling to take the picture without you seeing the logo. We can put it in the video, though.
Okay.
Wait there. I think... There we go. Let me check. There's no... You can
Wow.
comfortably fit 4 golf
I've
balls
seen
across
that
the face.
picture before.
I think you could be onto something, Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ping again.
Happy with Ping?
Yep. Oh, no.
You got it right. It's Ping. 3 out of 5.
If we guess ping enough times, it will be ping.
I
Okay.
was going to say that.
The final two.
Okay, so we're 3
This is a
for
very
5.
random one. I don't know why this came to me, other than the fact there's people will know this at home for 2 reasons. 2002, a driver.
Okay.
Tezoid,
Tezoid.
Blue Rage driver.
Wow.
Now, Tezoid, for people listening at home, was a very well-known franchise from a said brand, late 90s, early 2000s. Did a lot of different clubs within that Tezoid range. The
Tezoid.
Blue Rage driver. Now, what brand would make a driver called Blue Rage? It's quite a bold name, isn't it? But there's a clue in there.
Yeah, blue.
There's a clue in there.
Mizuno.
Going very quickly for Mizuno.
Is Callaway blue? You call Callaway blue?
I'll let you decide. Harry, do you have any input on that? Blue Rage?
No input whatsoever. Sorry.
Tezoid, Blue
What about
Rage.
blue net brands?
What era?
2002.
This was 2002, but the Tezoid, if there's any clue there or not, I don't want to say. That was like 90s, 2000s. You've got 2. You've got the brand, Tezoid, and then under that, it was the Blue Rage edition.
Blue Rage. Tezoid.
Give me TaylorMade.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it tailor-made for the T? That doesn't feel very tailor-made-y.
You had some clues there. I think you threw out a few answers.
Type of tailor... I feel like Mizuno, they're too, like, crafty for something like that. Blue Rage. Yeah. That's something TaylorMade would do, I think.
It breaks my heart. That you find like I'm giving that. You had it. Blue Mizuno. Mizuno Tezoid. Blue Rage. There you go, Ben. Little picture for you.
Oh, It just feels like not classy.
I know, that's
very unclassy of
is.
Mizuno.
Right,
Very
finally.
Uncharacteristic.
Finally. This is a driver that I owned myself. However, there's a caveat. My driver was bought secondhand because this driver, when it launched all the way back in 2001, was about £500. So it was unbelievably expensive. Put that in today's money, I don't even know what that would be, but a hell of a lot. It was illegal as well. It was non-conforming. It was hot. It was fast. I had on second hand, I'm sure, had a bit of a weird bulge in the face because every time you hit it, it'd like fall out the sky really quickly. And even better players would try, and it did the same for them. Anyway, I'm talking. This driver is the ERC driver. ERC. It was an absolute icon. There was then a bit more backstory. There was an ERC2 driver, which launched a couple of years later.
Okay.
And then there was an ERC, doesn't give it away, Fusion driver.
Can I jump in?
You can very much jump in.
I know what this is.
Okay.
You know.
Because of the references to it that we've done over the years through the Hit channel. I know what this is.
Wow.
But I'm not going to help you.
The ERC2,
my boy.
The ERC2 was good. The ERC Fusion was actually featuring carbon, hence the word fuse. It was fused together.
Does it have anything to do with Callaway ERC balls by any chance?
Well, you're making some logic.
That's where I feel like I'd be silly to go anywhere else but that.
What do you think, Harry?
I couldn't possibly comment.
I'll give you a clue. The ERC stands for the founder's initials. Eli.
Yeah.
Reeves. Callaway. Boom!
Boom.
He got it.
I mean,
Oh, baby, he got it.
Thank goodness for the golf balls.
So you got PSI right.
Yep.
You got Titleist 983K
4
right.
out of
You
7.
got Method Origin Nike wrong. Furdu's.
Yep.
Cobra Trusty Rusty wrong. Ping Doc 17 right. I've lost my fingers. Tezoid Blue Rage. You did have that, and then you let it go last minute. Then you did get ERC. So overall, I would say you've got a B minus.
Okay. I'll tell you B minus.
I think that's good.
Thank you.
I think that's very good.
Considering there was a lot of like 2000s and 1990s in there, I was a bit worried because that's like, I feel like anything post 2010s, okay, maybe I got a fest.
You know what I liked? What I liked in there, which is a sign of a good quizzer, wasn't that you knew the answers always. It was that you used logic to get to the answer.
Yes.
So you used the ERC golf ball to get to the ball, which was great.
Didn't panic under pressure.
No, you didn't. I really liked the 983K. You didn't know it, but you put the letter in the numbers, so you got to the tight list. Well done.
Thank you. That was a good quiz.
Thank you very much. It was
Might take
well
some
played.
Inspiration for future quizzes, maybe.
Please do. Speaking of one of the brands we mentioned, Ping, a video that's going live today as we record this, but will be yesterday. People listen to this. We've just reviewed the new Ping i540 irons, which are in a condensed review. It's about a 20-minute video. Please go and watch it if you've not already. In a condensed review, the new Ping i540 irons are good. They're a nice set of irons. Did you hit any of them in the end? Have you whacked a few or not?
Hit a few. Yeah, always hit a few after testing.
Of course he does.
They're very just like, if you're a Ping guy and you're looking for new Ping like player distance irons, you will probably get these. I feel like that's a fair. I feel like maybe you wouldn't move from another brand for these irons, but if you're a Ping guy, I think I could see people in these irons.
I completely agree. I think if you're a Ping guy, it's going to be a go-to. If you are in the market this April, this May, this June, when the golf season kicks off and you get that bug back and you're like, right, I want a set of players distance, hollow-headed irons. Everyone's got a set now from TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, Mizuno, you name it, Tacoma, they've got a set. This is a set of irons that definitely holds its own. It performs nicely. They feel pretty good. They are nice. And it's one of those kind of sets of clubs now that the hollow-headed iron were. We'll always review them because obviously there's so much demand for them and so many golfers want to use them and buy them. Having said that, so many of them now are so similar, really, aren't they? It's only when you get to Tacoma when you hand where the price is such a big story. Or like a Wilson where it's a bit of a kind of, I don't say underdog, but a little bit of an underdog brand. When Ping made these irons, it's hard for them to really win in a review sense because they should be good. The Ping, they cost £1,400, but they are good. So it's kind of, good.
Yeah.
B plus.
Yeah, I would give them that. But go watch it, definitely.
Yeah, I'd like people to do that. If you've got the time, please do. Talk to me about Bryson DeChambeau because he just won this last week at Live Golf Singapore. which was great for Liv. Obviously, that we said in the last podcast with Rick, it was up against the Players' Championship, the so-called fifth major, the biggest event on the PGA Tour. No offence, but if Richard T. Lee would have won, it might not have been quite as big a story.
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau wins, it's a huge story. He had some new wedges in the bag, I'll let you touch on. And I believe there's now rumours this week in South Africa he might be playing with a set of different irons from the one he won with last weekend.
I'm excited because I don't. Do you know what the wedges are?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Only because you've told me.
Oh, right. I don't know what the irons are, so I'm interested to hear what you have to say on that. A brand I probably didn't expect. People might have seen it already in the news, on the 6 p.m. news. Bettinardi. HLX 5.0 wedges. I find it so interesting, and this is like no offense to Bettinardi, but a player of like Bryson's caliber almost goes through those major OEMs and their wedges and still can't find the solution that he's looking for, that he ends up in Bettinardi wedges. That, correct me if I'm wrong here, I always, and again this might be wrong, but I almost associate Bettinardi a bit with putters.
Correct.
And then to see him in wedges, just to be a bit more specific here, he's got a 50-degree bent to 49, a 56-degree bent to 54, but he's still using a Ping Glide 4.0 in a 60-degree, 209 pounds per wedge. And he said he's been using them because they feel great going through the turf, a lot better from the fairway. So he's obviously found what he's looking for. I believe they're still in play during South Africa at the moment as we speak. Just like, I don't know, kind of caught me off guard. There's not a whole lot to say there, but just an interesting topic that I saw that came to fruition on my homepage. But talk to me about these irons as well. Are they these new irons that we haven't seen yet? Obviously, he's using a Voda at the moment. They've had that split with LA Golf, so he's obviously not making those prototype irons anymore, I assume, unless you're about to say that. But I know in Singapore, he was using those Avoda. Prototype is a word I'm looking for.
So two things to touch on. First of all, you're right with Bettinardi. They were very well known as a putter brand. I think they were founded in 1993, I think. And I'm sure Bettinardi, the guy, Robert Bettinardi, used to work for some of the other big OEMs beforehand, and he went on his own and kind of did stuff. And he's been very well known for putters, really good putters, kind of like a Scotty Cameron-esque putter, really. However, it was really only quite recently that they properly kind of came into the club market, and they launched irons and wedges, I think a couple of years ago now. So why is it into those wedges? I've got no idea. I could only imagine that, if someone like Bettinardi, they would make him any wedge of any shape, any design that he is asking for. But having said that, I'm sure any golf brand would for Bryson DeChambeau, so I'm not too sure why. However, on the iron front, I can't give much information, unfortunately, at the minute, because there's an article on Golf WRX, which went live at the time of recording this 18 hours ago. It literally says, Bryson DeChambeau testing mysterious new irons at Live South Africa.
Ooh.
And there's a picture of them, and it's like a hollow-headed looking iron with lead tape over where the logo of brand would be. So that's either conveniently placed there or whatever, I don't know. And it basically says, in our forums, it's the forums of Golf WRX, where, without being rude, lots of golf kind of equipment nerds live.
Yep.
Our members have been discussing what looks like a change of irons for Bryson. One of the guys on this forum said it looks like he's trying something different from what he won with last week than his usual Avodo Protos. It'll be very interesting to see what they could be. They could maybe be Bettinardi.
Let's have a look.
One of the members of the forum said it looks like a Tacoma. I doubt it is, but who knows? It's very kind of just a plainish looking iron without a lot of...
Do you know what it looks like? I've just pulled up the picture here. It really looks like those new Vice irons. It kind of like... kind of nothing on the back and it kind of like indents in the middle. I'm sure. It looks really like that.
Who knows what it will be? I mean, it's quite a bold... It's quite an interesting decision to swap your iron the week after winning. Whether just trying it out, whether it's just a single iron, whether that's just a driving iron, it's very hard to say.
He did say at the start of the year, if you remember, we spoke about it at Riyadh, that he had almost what sounded like his own equipment coming out that he was working on. He didn't say who with. He said that he was going to be testing new irons coming soon, even a new driver potentially. So that's pretty interesting.
You know what? This might even be what we title a podcast. I don't know. But realistically, I think it would be an unbelievably savvy and smart business move for Bryson to launch his own equipment brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's been done before by lots of golfers, and some have had huge success of it, and some have made kind of more budget sets of irons, etc. But think about the success of like a Tacoma, who we talk about loads, who have essentially launched irons and product that is half, if not a third of the price of the big brands, but decent quality, good quality, and it's cool as well. They've obviously used loads of influencers to make it cool, etc. Like, if Bryson decided to launch a brand, now obviously he uses himself would be very intricate and very different and very unique. So he would have like single length irons that are very different in shaft and all that crazy stuff, which fair enough might not be for the mass market. But if he worked with a brand and actually made a franchise of, you know, DeChambeau's golf or whatever he wants to call it, I think he could absolutely kill it, and he would get in the hands of millions of golfers. He could use his YouTube channel to actually market it. And I mean, although he's unbelievably wealthy already, obviously, this could be something that would literally make him on that next level. And why not? Like, why couldn't he do it?
It's weird. It's a shame, not a shame, but that Tacoma have like bought into so many like YouTube golfers, because I feel like that was something I could see like with Bryson if he like developed his own set. You know, I feel like Bryson probably wouldn't come in at the budget price if he did launch his like own set of equipment, but I could have seen other like YouTube golfers like using his stuff if he did make irons and stuff. I imagine that if he did make something, it would be probably quite expensive. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's weird, isn't it, that he's like one guy that you really want to keep an eye out for what equipment he uses, because it's so interesting, isn't it? Because he's obviously such a tinkerer. It's like, oh, he's not put like Callaway Opus wedges in the bag. It's like, well, what the fact that he's making his own irons because he's so desperate to have perfection in his equipment is pretty interesting.
I think what is interesting is what he could do, and this might never work, but he could have his line, you know, DeChambeau Tour, let's call it, which would be the super expensive stuff that fellow tour players might want to use, elite golfers might use, and he could have DeChambeau Core, which is used by the YouTube golf fan, you know, much cheaper. However, what I would say is I know that when obviously Bryson was signed by Cobra, and he was obviously, and he still is famous for using one-length irons, Cobra had a massive drive at making one-length irons, and let's be honest, it didn't really resonate with people. It kind of makes sense if you've never, ever, ever played golf before, and somebody said, there's a set of irons where the lengths are all different, there's a set of irons where the lengths are all the same, make the same swing with each golf club and let the club ups do the work, and that'll change flight and everything. It would make more sense, but just it never really resonated, it never took off. So even with the marketing power of Cobra Golf, the marketing power of Bryson, you know, single length irons haven't really taken off with the consumer. But I think taking that away and actually making it more about a brand piece, like if Bryson launched his own brand where they were just variable length irons, they were more normal irons, I really think that could be on something. So who knows? Maybe watch his space.
One to keep an eye out for sure. I've been keeping a secret from the audience, but you know about it.
I do.
I have.
I'm huge.
No comment. I'm currently 6 days into speed training. If you've watched any major driver review video on the Hit channel this year, you may, if you have a keen eye, have noticed Rick mention he's picked up a bit of ball speed. He's swinging it faster. We did a ball speed test at the end of every driver video. And it is true. Rick has picked up ball speed. He's hitting it faster. He does his own speed training, which is him swinging as hard as he can down in the Hit studio. And he's seen a gain. He has just genuine, like if you go back a year and watch old driver review videos, he's picked up just general cruising speed. He's also been helping me in my journey become a better golfer a little bit, giving me tips here and there. And he has unlocked, I don't even know how, just from like a setup tweak, more distance than me. About 6 months ago, probably a bit more, I'm 6'6", I've got long arms, I should be hitting it far. I was probably hitting it 240 yards with a big slice.
Yep.
And I feel like I was hitting it not hard, but like I was going after balls and I couldn't, you know, I was watching guys here in the office hit it 260, 270, and I genuinely had to get pretty lucky to hit anything big. So Rick gave me a couple setup tweaks and just unlocked a load of distance in my swing. And I went, wow, this is what it's like. Pretty interesting. I can keep up with the boys now. I can keep up a little bit with Rick. And Rick's always on the lookout for, you know, we're all competitive, aren't we? And he you know, you guys have had your own challenges. I remember when Rick started this journey, you guys were kind of like racing to like 170, and then it was like 175 ball speed, and everyone's like gaining and gaining. So I said to Rick, now we've sort of found the speed and we're joking about it. What if I race you to 180 mile an hour ball speed, which is fast? I never ever thought I'd get 180 mile an hour ball speed. Anyway, there's a product called the Speed Toad, which is a great name. I love the name. A little weight, lighter than your driver. You attach it to the end of your shaft, and you follow basically a two times a week training program of speed training. I'm doing a challenge for the HIT channel, 30 days of speed training, where I'm basically training almost every day. There's 2 days of rest included in the schedule. There's an add-on you can pay for in the Speed Toad app where you get like fitness training and etc. But I'm currently 6 days into that journey. I'm not a guy, as you can probably tell, people watching, I don't really work out. You know, I never have. I feel like I'm quite relatively fit. Like, you know, I go for runs and play a lot of golf. But I don't work out. I've never like committed to working out before. I've always struggled to like commit to going to the gym or whatever. So the training program has me doing 4 days a week, like fitness training, like weights, etc. And it's been tough to commit so far, but we're cracking on, and it's going to be interesting. Sam, who holds the world record for the fastest club speed ever recorded, club head speed, we had a call with him. I showed him my swing to get a couple tips on how we could beat Rick, and he seems to think I'll get 185, which is just like crazy.
Do you know what PJ Tour average is?
No, 174. I'm gonna say
174.82.
Beauty, love that. I feel like it'll be around that, wouldn't it? You'll feel like there's people obviously way faster.
Well, that's why I asked you, because if you look at the top end, you kind of Gary Woodlands, etc., is like 188 average, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
The Højgaard brothers. It's weird. I always get fascinated by how similar those two are. They're twins, granted, obviously, but like Rasmus Højgaard is 187.7 average through the season. Nikolai is 187.55. So it's 0.15 of a mile an hour different, which is just ridiculously consistent with each other. But yeah, you got your Marco Penge at 186, your guy Minwoo Lee at 186, Jake Knapp 185, Adam Scott, your guy 184, wow. And then you move down to the kind of lower end. But then you also look at the lower end of guys who are still amazing golfers. You've got like Russell Henley 167. I mean, look, currently Russell Henley I think he's like top 10 in the world, isn't he? Let's have a look.
He must be up there. Not top 10, but
I think he is.
Top 20?
No, he's number 8 in the world.
Oh, is he?
And he has been third recently. So, I mean, obviously we know that distance is massively important, but you do get some guys. Brian Harmon, obviously Open Champion 2023, 166. I think the point for you, though, which you touched on, which is really truthful, is that for your height, your stature, it's not even about getting these ridiculous numbers. It's about you should be using that to your advantage as a golfer. Now, obviously, you want to keep it on the planet and keep it in the fairway or the first cut of rough. But there's definitely speed to be gained. So are you genuinely thinking the 185 is achievable, or is that like a bit of crazy?
I think that's a bit of a crazy, but who knows? And genuinely, I think it's going to be so interesting, not just for me, but for everyone who wants to like pick up speed. You know, when I spoke to Sam, we'll include a bit of that interview, we can call it, with Sam in the video, that everyone can pick up speed. He thinks anyone from, you know, our age to 60-year-old golfers can pick up speed. So if you're genuinely looking for speed, well, we don't know yet because I've not finished my 30 days, but I will be able to give a review on this Speed Toad, whether or not I think it was useful. I've got a few thoughts on it already, which I won't share just yet, but some positive, some negative. But it's been fun filming myself at home, because I'm also renovating my house, so it's been kind of interesting. I don't really have a space to like work out in, so it's kind of like a fun, different style video for HIT. I'm excited to share it. You guys, like, it's funny because we film videos here in the studio. You kind of sit in, give them some advice, and we all have a sort of idea of what's going on, but we kind of filmed the intro and the call with Sam, and I've kind of just been like left to it now at home, just like doing my own thing and working out in my garden and stuff. So
I almost think that there needs to be two sides to the review as well. I think the first thing is, does your clubhead speed increase over time? Because if it does, then that proves the product and your hard work has been beneficial because you've gained the speed. So that's quite factual, black and white. But what then happens to your golf?
Yeah.
Because you could increase speed, which increase distance and massively improve your scores. That would sound quite obvious. But equally, and I'm sure, and I hope this isn't the case, you might gain speed, but we're hitting massive snap hooks that go out of bounds, massive pushes that go out of bounds. You might find that you're faster, but there'll be golfers out there now who swing it well harder than you, but are off 20. Like, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
You swing it already and hit it faster than some of the PJ Tour players, but they're on the PJ Tour and you and I aren't. So it's almost like you want both things to be true, don't you? You want to actually... The overall point of doing this is to improve your golf. So I would imagine that it will improve your golf, but that's also quite interesting to find out.
It will be. Gam, your bets on who makes 180 first?
I would. So what are you at now? Remind me roughly.
So the numbers. Okay, we can say this, can't we? The numbers we got from the initial testing, I was coming off the back of an illness, cruising at like high 1.5s, and maxing out at about 1.67, 1.66. But I have got 1.74 before.
Personally,
is my highest.
I would probably say, I think you might do it over Rick, only because Rick was always a 160 ball speed guy, and he's now like comfortably over 170, which is a crazy jump. And he's obviously been doing a lot of working out, a lot of training. I think for him to find more again might well happen, but it could be a hard ask. Whereas you're almost starting from raw. I think you've got a lot more physical gains, like with your working out you're going to be doing, but also like your golf is improving as well. And the fact that you keep going back to be 6'6". Not that you should, but I feel like you've probably got a lot more to gain, whereas I think Rick might start to plateau.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
Your comment earlier about swinging as hard as you can on the course and it brings out like different misses and etc. leads me on to another interesting topic. Last week we spoke about but I was going to go for a mystery fitting. I don't mean to keep going on about things I've done like speed training and going for a fitting,
it's
but
a podcast.
It's a podcast and these are videos for HIT. We spoke about last week, but I was going for a fitting at a mystery brand we spun the wheel for. That fitting has happened now. Yesterday. No, 2 days ago to be exact. Yeah. And all I will say is, wow, what a genuinely like eye-opening experience. And for us gearheads and the people listening, I promise you're going to love this video, because I feel like I almost need to watch it again because the fitting was nearly 3 hours for irons, wedges, driver, and some of the things we learned, like especially that I learned, being so new to the game, of just certain shafts, lie angles, lofts, like what grinds and bounces around the greens. Turns out I've been using the wrong wedges to chip with this whole time, and we'll learn what is right for you, what is right for the people at home. So many different things, and just genuinely such an eye-opener. One thing I'll just mention quickly, it's not a spoiler or anything, but with my getting a new set, I've never had a 4-iron, and I've always wanted a 4-iron, just to have. And I was so set thinking coming into the fitting, oh yeah, I'm going to get a 4-iron, great. It's so interesting to learn about what it takes to be able to go into a 4-iron, what you need to be able to achieve, like looking at your numbers and stuff to be able to go into a 4-iron. And I left with I don't have the set yet, but with no 4-iron because of what the data said. So if I was a person listening to this and I'm about to buy new clubs, when this video drops in however long, in a month's time or maybe less, go and watch it, because it's so interesting for if you go for a fitting or not, or if you go to a simple fitting and you don't know what to look for in your numbers when you're hitting certain clubs, etc. I think if you watch this video, you will learn so much that you can take to your own fitting and know what you're almost looking out for. Because I didn't know what I should be looking for, but I feel like I know so much. And I said to you as well, I always thought this was a Tour Pro thing, shafts. I just genuinely think that shafts, oh yeah, people of our everyday golfer level, don't really make a difference, really, do they? Probably not. But genuinely, I can't believe the difference. This is not going from regular to extra stiff or something, but
the actual shaft,
weights, the feeling, and then seeing how it resembles into numbers and strike location, and how much a simple change can change everything. I almost feel like going around to everyone now, and whoever buys new clubs, just say you got to go for a fitting, because it's just so night and day. and we got the results we wanted. Like I said last week, I got fitted 18 months ago. I've sort of self-fitted myself. So we had 2 iron sets to take in, and the result we got was almost so different to what I got fit for 18 months ago. Obviously, my levels changed and how I self-fit myself. So, honestly, so interesting. I almost can't wait to watch it back again to take in more information.
I think what was really interesting about the fit you had, again, it was obviously a big, huge brand, and it was a fitting that, sadly, most people won't experience unless they pay a lot of money for it. That's just the fact of it. However, what was different with your fitting compared to that of like a high street golf retailer is typically when you walk into a high street golf retailer, and I used to work at one obviously many moons ago, you're looking really, or most people are looking for, what brand is going to suit me best? So should I buy Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, Callaway, Mizuno? And when I've maybe chosen that, do we need them to be longer, shorter, and do we need stiff or regular? That's really what people ask for. And also, to be fair to these retailers, all they can really offer, because that's what they have in their fitting cart. And that still does, to some degree, a good job for certain people, because I always use this analogy, if it's your 40th birthday, you've decided to treat yourself, or your family members are treating you to a set of irons, you've never had brand new irons before. You want to know the set that you're walking out with, the ones that you like, that you're happy with, that you hit well. So if you have got those 4 or 5 brands in mind, even just narrowing that down to the one that is best for you or that you like, that's really important. So that still is fitting, and you could argue that's a job well done and a tick next to it. You then might say, I've never ever known whether I should be regular or stiff. You go to that fitting and the guy tells you, your club head speed's 83 miles an hour with your iron, I think you should be in stiff. Well, again, you've learned something you might not have known. So some people, and probably you at the time when you got those irons, those kind of fittings do have a place. However, when you are wanting to get better, which obviously you are, and you want to get to that next level and make sure that every club you've got has earned its way into your golf bag, what you did that fitting, and obviously I saw it firsthand, it was eye-opening even to me, and I used to be a fitter, because watching the guys at said brand fit, they have so many different options, even built some clubs before you at the start of the day to try. And like you said, what we really saw with you was that your 7-iron got a certain ball speed about 125 miles an hour, if my memory serves me correctly. You then want to be gaining about 5 miles an hour per club, so then your 6-iron should be 130, 5-iron 135, 4-iron 140, etc. For you, and for probably 99% of golfers, the 4-iron strikes were inconsistent because the club's longer, there's less loft, it's more daunting to look down on. You weren't getting that distance gain, so you would end up, really, if you had a 4 and 5-iron in the bag, they'd probably do the same job, which is just pointless. So that's why you then tried hybrids, 7-woods, 9-woods. Did we try an 11-wood?
Thankfully not.
We tried all the different clubs out to find what works best for you, and that, again, is back to the early 90s, late 90s when I started playing golf. People used to buy sets often, 3-iron down to sand iron in that whole set. And that was just the done thing. You'd buy them all. And then it kind of became a bit more where people would maybe not get the sand wedge, but they'd buy a specialist wedge like a Vokey or a Cleveland. Then slowly it became, well, actually, I don't need a 3-iron. I'll start at 4-iron. Then it's now become, I'll start at 5-iron. And there's going to be lots of golfers listening who probably start at 6-iron, which isn't a bad play. So fitting really has evolved to be so much more. And looking, again, without giving the brand away, your specs here, we've got the hand of whether you're right or left-handed. Well, we knew that already, but you've got the first part is, are you right or left-handed? We obviously know that. Then with like the metals, we've got what hosel setting do you need? Again, that doesn't give it away too much because most brands have hosel settings. Where you want the weight to be in that club, heel or toe. Then how long the golf club is. It's fair enough. Then the brand of manufacture of shaft and the weight of shaft. Then the flex of shaft. Then if you want the tip trimmed or not to be stiffer or softer. Then you've got the grip. Then you've got the grip thickness. Then you've got whether your grip is on which up or downwards, see the logo showing or not. So, and then with irons, we've obviously got lie angle as well, and loft. So you've got, with the irons, how many loft irons you get in, whether they're upright, etc. All this different stuff. You think, you've learned, like, literally, I think there's 9 different criteria that you've gone, even your head weight, all this random stuff. So that is definitely the absolute pinnacle of fitting. It's the best of the best of the best. It's the gold standard. But I also, and I've been critical before of like retailers' fittings, but I think there is a time and place for everybody. Like, if you were off 28, you've just started playing 6 months ago, maybe that fitting, I would argue, might be wasted on you.
Yeah.
The brands in question wouldn't say that. They'd say, you should still come, everyone at every golfer level should go and get fitted like that. But I don't think they should. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how you perform. I think the big thing for me, I was made up to you in the iron that you got, because I think it's a nice blend of a smaller head and more players golf club, but still a little bit behind it if you're having a bad day.
Definitely.
think it's a good set of golf clubs.
Yeah, I think everything you said is correct, and it's interesting. Just back to that 4-iron point, you know, if you went and tested that, like it was your friends' clubs or something, like I felt like I was smoking that 4-iron. It was going dead straight, and they just went, "No, you're not having it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, guess not." And that's why we tried other things, because we just weren't getting even though I felt like I was flushing it, the data just like wasn't backing it up and making it.
There's two things that you were hitting it quite well, but also I think I said to the fitter at the time, which you alluded to, is you were hitting some of them quite well, but in that situation, it's quite easy to disregard a bad one.
Yeah.
If you hit a slicey, thinny, rubbishy one, you go, "Oh, let's hit the next one." But that, in a comp, slicey, thinny, rubbishy one might be out of bounds, might be in a bunker. That ruins your scorecard. And secondly, on the golf course, in a comp, you hit your 4-iron, hit it well, hit it bad. You then put your golf bag on your back or start your trolley again. You walk for 3, 4, 5 minutes. You get a bit colder. You then hit your next shot. You hitting 4-iron, 4-iron,
Yeah.
4-iron. Like, it's not real. If that makes, you have to take that into account massively, both in a good and a bad way. Towards the end of the day, you swing, get a bit lazier because you're tired, but you don't get that repeatability on the golf course. So all those intricate things make the fitting really invaluable. Just speaking on fitting though, and again why it's so intricate, we had the what's in the bag sent through from Cameron Young, who obviously won the Players this weekend, and his golf bag it's incredible. So essentially, he has got the Titleist Pro V1 X prototype golf ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's then got it's all Titleist. He's got a Titleist GT3 11-degree driver, which again just shows how much golf has changed, because there was a time where if you were a good player, it's like you use an 8-degree head. It's like to be an 11 degrees, it fits the launch characteristics of his golf ball.
And how far did he hit that drive on the last?
375. So it just shows. He's then got GT1, 3-wood and a hybrid, which typically you think GT1 is the kind of high handicapper, but for him obviously works in 14.5 degree and 20 degree. He's then got a T200 4-iron. So Cameron Young has got the minerals to hit a 4-iron, unlike you, but that's fine. He's Cameron Young.
One day.
He's then got a T100 5-iron. He's then got his 631.CY Cameron Young prototype 6 to 9 iron. And then he's got Vokeys 48, 52, 56, and a 60-degree bent to 62, and a Scotty Cameron putter. So that's becoming something that won't surprise people. It's become. By the way, I'm fiddling with a bobble out of my daughter's hair that I've got in my hands. Have you seen me messing with my fingers? Bobble. I don't know why I'm playing. It's quite a nice comfort blanket. He's got a complete mix bag, well, all Titleist, but a complete mixing variety of clubs, from a hybrid to, a chunky 4-iron to a middle of the pack 5-iron to then blades in a 6-iron down to 9-iron. Fittings and golf bags are getting so much more varied.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, for the 4-iron, it's becoming a relic.
Old news, isn't
extinct,
it?
for most people.
It kind of reminds me of like Cam Smith's bag that we did a video on the Hit channel, like very like Titleist T250, like 4-iron, then it was like 150s, 5 to 6-iron, and then like 7 to pitching wedge was 100. So yeah, whole very mix and matchy. I love a hybrid. Love seeing more hybrids. I'm a big hybrid guy.
I think anything that works. I mean, looking at Tommy Fleetwood, he's got a driver. He's got the QI40. He's then got a mini driver, the R7 quad. He's then got what's this now? He's got a 5-wood, which is the QI35. And then he's got a 9-wood, which is the QI10. And he was just bladed irons 5 to wedge. So times are changing. People are being more experimental. Get the golf clubs that fit you. Try and have as little ego as possible. If you've got 4-woods in the bag, you've got 4-woods in the bag. Who cares? As long as you're shooting good scores and playing good golf and enjoying it, that's all that matters.
Do you think, quick question, that we'll see Scotty Scheffler back in a QI4D again this year?
I don't know. I think
after, I felt like he was very close to snapping it over his knee, wasn't he? Like, back into, was it, sorry, he had the QI10 for Sawgrass, but it was Bay Hill, wasn't it? He was having a bit of a nightmare, and he went, everyone's like, he's back in the QI4D, and then didn't go well. Back in the QI10 again, and
I think what the brands need to do, and obviously it's hard, and they know much more than I do, but they want to sell product every year, of course they do, but I think it's more for them about building up profiles of players who use said brand, not worrying if these are the latest and greatest all the time. I just snapped the bubble now. For example, does it matter really deep down, does it matter TaylorMade if he's using the QI10, QI4D, QI35, if he's winning tournaments and if he can win the Masters or Roy wins the Masters? Like, it needs to be more of a TaylorMade win, but inevitably going to shout about what club he's using, as our Titleist with Cameron Young. But they need to let the players have that flexibility, as they obviously do now, to use what they want, because drivers do change each year, sometimes not massive in performance, but in looks and in feel. And if you're playing for $4 million and you're on the 18th tee, you need to know that your driver, as Cameron Young did, you feel comfortable with. It's no secret that in May, Titleist are bringing out a new driver that Cameron Young might put straight in the bag. But if he turns around to them and says, no, I'm not swapping my driver, they're not going to be, I don't think Titleist are going to be too upset.
No, definitely not.
And it's almost like the golf ball. It's a well-known fact that so many Titleist golfers use old versions of golf balls, like literally 7 or 8 years old in some instances, because that particular golf ball felt better for them. It span better. I think Brad needs to embrace that a bit more. Like, it's that would be this. But if suddenly Rory said, I want to use an M2 driver again, which he's a bit known to love, it's not going to be great for TaylorMade. Just let him use what he needs to use. Shout more about the brand rather than the actual particular club. Anyway.
One thing before we go. I would like people to email in more about their golf club dilemmas. I want people, because we all have golf club dilemmas. We go on the weekend, top your hybrid, whatever. Should I have a hybrid? Should I have 4-iron? Should I have a driving iron? I'm feeling passionate to solve some equipment dilemmas for our average golfers out there. So if you're listening, please email in or leave a post in the Facebook group, a comment on Guy's any questions for the podcast post that he does. Let's answer some next week. Hopefully, answer some questions about people's equipment dilemmas.
I'm also very keen to get more spokespeople from golf brands on the podcast. So
nice.
Obviously, we wouldn't just have one. We wouldn't just have TaylorMade or Titleist or Callaway and just have that one brand. 'Cause it could look, biased potentially. So maybe one week we'd have someone from Callaway on. Maybe a month later we have someone from TaylorMade. And I don't want to hear all about how the latest driver is the best, fastest ball speed ever, but more about the culture of said brand, what they found with tour players. So if any brands want to feature, feel free to hit us up. We obviously speak to those guys relatively often on email chains about product, etc. But
you know who I'd like to see? Someone from Nike Golf to tell that story.
Yeah, we can find someone.
I'd like that. I'd like to hear the story of the years of Nike Golf.
Well, it will
beginning to end.
It'll be this year, 10 years since they stopped.
Wow,
which is crazy.
Great timing.
To say. Yeah, August of 2016, I think it was.
But leave some comments anyway, people, viewers. Leave some comments on YouTube or Spotify or Facebook. Who do you want to see? Who would you like to see interviewed on the Friday podcast? Not interviewed, but have a chat.
Scrutinised.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Interrogated.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, well, that was good, Ben. I think you definitely perked up towards the end. You had a couple of coughs, so...
Yeah, I do apologise for the coughing in the background.
Really,
it's not...
ruined the whole vibe.
Yeah, I know. I feel like people listening in the car and someone coughing all the time. I'd be like, oh, it's gross.
Makes it relatable.
Listen, we promised every Friday, so we're here. And I will be on my deathbed if needed to record this Friday podcast.
Imagine how emotional that would be if you were on your deathbed and we just shoved a mic in your face.
Guys, have a great weekend.
Very good weekend.
Happy golfing if you're playing.
It's coming.
If you're in England now. If you're in
home.
England, it is golf season, babe. I'm playing a little scramble comp with with Leo, our social media manager, on Saturday. Pairs. The sun's meant to be shining. I think I'm probably going to wear shorts.
Can I tell you a secret?
We're so back.
I'm playing a match next week with Rick.
You're playing a match?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll give this a slight
I know the match.
little
teaser.
Small plug at the end of the Hit podcast for Hardcore. It's going to be, hopefully, it all goes ahead, weather, etc., which feels mad to say today because it's so sunny. Of course, it should be okay next week, but who knows? Britain, start of April, end of March, start of April, things could change. We are playing Rick and myself versus Jimmy Bullard and Ange from Golf Life.
Love that.
So it should be an amazing match.
Are you excited to play golf? I feel like you've not played golf in a long time.
I am excited. I think I do keep having these thoughts that I need to start playing again properly. I miss being competitive and I miss playing comps and looking at the leaderboard on my phone when I get home or whatever. But
33 stable points.
No, I feel like it'd be like 29. I started off well, then I know.
12 points on the front nine.
Yeah. But I just feel like it's not the right time. But I do enjoy hitting balls in the hit studio. I enjoy hitting it decently. I'm going to spray a few shots. But what I don't enjoy, and this is what I hate about golf, is when those times when I do play well, which isn't very often, granted, but the scorecard towards the end of the round, it does really fill me with dread. It's why every time playing at the old course with Rick, all the grandstands up in 2022, And I had this amazing round. I think it was like 1 over par or something, coming down like 15 or 16 I think it was. I just literally hit the biggest push slice out of bounds ever into the hospitality tents. And my heart just sank of like, that's a good round of hard work undone. And the level I'm used to playing at when I was a lower handicapper, you can only have one of those holes and that's it.
I know the feeling.
If you have 20, you can have a couple. But when you have like 3, 4, it doesn't really, it's hard.
This sounds dramatic, but just quickly. At the end of last year, like October time, I was 2 under. I've told you the story. I was 2 under through like 15 holes on my Saturday comp. I'm a 9 handicap, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my goodness. I like adrenaline pumping, smoked this drive down the middle, got down there, couldn't find the ball because it's winter here. It plugged. Everyone was looking for it. The playing group in front heard it, but they didn't know where it was. Couldn't find it. I was like, great, it's Stableford, so I just put myself down for a blob. No points. Cracked on, which is like, I think in Stableford you get like a triple bogey. Cracked on, next hole, straight into the sun. It was like 3 o'clock, so the sun was like kind of setting uphill. Hit 6 iron to be safe. Ball straight into the sun. Anyone see that? No. Got down there, couldn't find it. Blob again, triple. Parred in, and I think I technically finished like 2 over the triples. And I was like, I don't know if golf will ever be better than that. I don't know if I will ever be 2 under through 15 in my life again. And it's hard to pick yourself up from that.
It really is. But I think this is getting deep now at the end of the podcast. As I get older, I'm learning more about the fact of just trying to just enjoy playing golf.
With the boys. That's what I'm looking forward to Saturday. Just going out with the boys and playing golf. That's what it's about.
It is, and I agree. But then
besides winning.
But the scorecard changed my mind. Anyway, we need to go. I need some food.
Let's go.
It's been great. Thanks, Ben.
Happy golfing, guys. Have a great weekend.
See you next week.
See you next Friday.